Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Jamaica News in Review. Infant dies, parents hospitalized following two-vehicle crash in Trelawney. The police are reporting that a 3-week-old infant has succumbed to injuries sustained in a two-vehicle collision on the Coopers Main Road in Trelawney on Sunday, with her parents remaining in hospital. Two other persons who also sustained injuries in the crash are in hospital. The deceased child has been identified as Denella Margon of Patrick City in St. Andrew. Reports from the Rabina police are that about 4:20 p.m., the child was traveling with her parents in a blue Toyota Yaris motor car towards Montego Bay, St. James, when the vehicle collided with a purple Nissan Juke motor car. The police were summoned, and Denella and her parents were taken to hospital. The two persons who were in the Nissan motor car were also taken to hospital. The child was pronounced dead at hospital, and the other occupants of both vehicles were admitted in stable condition. Farmers find decomposing body in St. Thomas. Police have still not identified a man whose body was found in Spanish Town Wood District in Holland Bay, St. Thomas on Sunday. The body, which was in a partial state of decomposition, was reportedly discovered by two farmers who went searching for their missing animals. It was reported that around 10:40 a.m., the animal farmers were walking along a track in the district, searching for their runaway cows, when they stumbled upon the body in bushes. A report was then made by boatmen at the Golden Grove police station, and a team visited the scene. The police observed the partially decomposed body lying on its left side, clad in a black shirt, a pair of black shorts, and black shoes in the bushes. The scene was processed and the body removed. Contact this afternoon. The head of the St. Thomas Police Superintendent Alison Byfield said despite efforts, the body has not been identified. Man nabbed following attempted robbery of Kingston business establishment. A 22-year-old man has been charged after reportedly shot and injuring two people during an attempted robbery of a business establishment on Studio One Boulevard, Kingston last month. Charged with 2 counts of wounding with intent, 2 counts of malicious destruction of property, 4 counts of assault at common law, and possession of a prohibited weapon, is Tariq Tola of Galloway Road in the parish. Reports were that about 5:15 p.m., Tariq entered a business establishment and attempted to rob the service representative. The man reportedly ran into an adjoining building. Tariq, who was trapped inside the shop, opened gunfire at the door and escaped. 2 people were shot during the incident and were taken to hospital where they were treated. Tariq was held during an operation and placed on an identification parade on Monday, September 4, where he was pointed out. He was charged on Monday, September 11. Man killed near police station in St. Mary, alleged killer detained. A man was detained following the killing of another in Paulwell, St. Mary on Monday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as O'Neill Davis, otherwise called Bonnie Ruggs or Rugo, a resident of Days Mountain in the parish. It is reported that around 4:45 p.m., both men had a dispute near the Area 2 Police Headquarters in Tower Isles. According to the police, during the dispute, a knife was allegedly used to stab Davis in his chest. He was taken to the St. Ansby Hospital, where he succumbed to his injury. The alleged killer, a 51-year-old man from Tower Isles, was immediately detained by personnel from the Area 2 headquarters and transported to the Arcabesa police station, where he is presently in custody. 1 dead, 2 injured in Kingston car crash. A man is dead and 2 others injured following a motor vehicle collision on the St. Faisal Main Road in Kingston on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as Devon Edwards of Port Royal in the parish. Reports from the Harbourview Police are that about 11 p.m., Edwards was a passenger in a Mazda Demo motor car that was heading towards St. Thomas when the driver allegedly lost control of the motor vehicle while navigating wet road conditions and the car overturned. Edwards was thrown from the motor vehicle and sustained several injuries. Edwards, another passenger, and the driver of the motor car were taken to the hospital, where Edwards died while undergoing treatment. The other persons were admitted for treatment. Investigations continue. Police seized gun and ammunition hidden in concrete block. The police seized an illegal firearm and several rounds of ammunition in Greenwich Town, Kingston 13 on Tuesday. The Hunts Bay police say the illegal weapon was seized during an operation that was conducted on 4th Street in the community about 3:30 p.m. During the operation, a police team searched a premises and found a Taurus semi-automatic pistol hidden inside the pocket of the concrete block in a fence. The gun was fitted with a magazine containing 3 9mm rounds of ammunition. The police say no one was arrested in connection with the seizure. However, the investigation continues. Paulwell plot thickens. Less than 24 hours after veteran parliamentarian Philip Paulwell reported that his 10-month-old daughter and her mother had gone missing, his partner entered the fray, denying that she had anything to do with the suspected abduction. Hours later, a social media post claiming to be that from the woman, who the police identified as 27-year-old Joshana Patterson, said she and little Paulwell were not missing. However, up to press time, the police were still reporting the two as missing, while reporters claimed the post was fake. The saga surrounding Paulwell, the Member of Parliament for Kingston 8 and Port Royal, started to deepen on Sunday morning when his partner of several years, Leoja Bradshaw, issued a statement in which she denied having anything to do with the disappearance of Patterson and the baby girl. The only interaction I have ever had with Miss Patterson is through a brief Facebook exchange, said Bradshaw in the statement. I have never spoken to her by phone, nor have I made any arrangements to meet with her. Any such reports in social media are lies and will be passed on to my lawyer for action to be taken in the days ahead, said Bradshaw, who is an attorney based in the United States. I have shared all information I have with the authorities, and I hope their investigation will lead to the safe return of Miss Patterson and her baby girl, added Bradshaw. She later told reporters in a telephone interview that claims Patterson received a call from someone purportedly to be her and saying they wanted to meet the baby should be investigated. I have never spoken to this woman, and we've never met. How do you pick up yourself, and why would you meet with a stranger you don't know? Added Bradshaw, as she noted that reports were that Patterson was picked up in a gold van by a male driver who was wearing a dark shades. Why did you mention my name? My information was not public knowledge, added Bradshaw. In outlining the sequence of events surrounding Paulwell, who sits on the opposition benches in Parliament, Bradshaw said in May their 8-year-old daughter was sent sexual explicit photos, which was later followed by email threats and extortion attempts. She said the matter was reported to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Broward County Sheriff Department Internet Crime Against Children in the U.S. They later reported the matter to the Jamaican authorities. The threat against our child continued for months as the authorities investigated, stated Bradshaw. She added that on Sunday, September 3rd, an email was sent out making threats that personal information on Paulwell would be released to the public. They also made damning threat against our child, stated Bradshaw. According to Bradshaw, on Tuesday, September 5th, she received an email from an address which is being withheld by the reporters, indicating that Patterson had a child with Paulwell. I spoke to Philip, and he confirmed that he had a brief relationship with Miss Patterson, and it is possible that the child was his, but he was not certain as a DNA test had not been done, stated Bradshaw. This was the first time I was hearing about Miss Patterson and the child, added Bradshaw. She said she sent Patterson a message on Facebook Messenger advising her that Paulwell had opened up to her about the involvement and the possibility that the child was his. I advised her that Philip and I would ensure that the child is taken care of financially, and a DNA test would be done to ensure that Philip was the father of the child. As can be seen from my exchanges with Miss Patterson, there was no anger, but just a genuine wish to see that an innocent child is taken care of and not caught up between two parents no longer in a relationship, stated Bradshaw. She added, I continue to work with the local and U.S. authorities to get to the bottom of the threat against my family, in particular our young daughter. I will continue to pray for the safe return of Miss Patterson and her baby and ask anyone with information to contact the police. King Alarm Guard shot while attempting to foil robbery. The police have confirmed that a member of the King Alarm security team escaped serious injury after he was shot while attempting to foil a robbery in Independent City, Portmore in St. Catherine on Wednesday afternoon. Reports from the police are that the security guard was saved by his bulletproof vest and suffered injuries, which are believed to be non-life-threatening. Cops detained Lifeguard for brother's killing in St. James. One brother is dead and another in custody following an incident in Catherine Mount, St. James on Tuesday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as 30-year-old O'Shane Bailey. His brother, who is 24-year-old Lifeguard, was detained when he went to the police station to report the killing. It was reported that around 12:45 p.m., both men who lived together had an argument over bills to be paid. The argument, the police said, became physical and the brothers started fighting. The now deceased was held in the chokehold position until he passed out. The brother made a report to the police. The police went to the home where they found O'Shane dead. The scene was processed and the body removed. Man killed during alleged attempted robbery of cop. A man who allegedly attempted to hold up and rob an off-duty policeman was shot and killed in Port Antonio, Portland on Tuesday. The dead man, identified as 29-year-old Raheem Brown, of no fixed address, was shot after he reportedly pulled a knife at the cop. Information reaching reporters indicated that around 1:40 p.m., the policeman, a constable, was at a building on Gideon Avenue when Brown approached and demanded money he had in his hand. The cop, police stated, told him he could not give it to him, and Brown in return used threatening words, telling the constable that he was going to kill him and take it. Police said Brown then pulled a ratchet knife and advanced towards the cop, who, in fear for his life, pulled his license firearm and discharged one round, hitting Brown, who then ran off and collapsed. He was taken to the Port Antonio Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has launched a probe into the incident. Dengue fears. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, speaking during the Ministry of Health quarterly press conference in the corporate area on Wednesday, said the ministry has identified, from laboratory results as of Monday, September 11, a total of 39 positive cases. He said of that number, 38 were identified as the dengue serotype 2, which has been a predominant here since 2010. This strain, in addition to fever, can cause 2 or more other symptoms of typical dengue infection and can be fatal. Dr. Tufton said further flowing the concerns in the fact is that of the 39 confirmed cases of the virus, a total of 20 belong to the 5 to 14 years old group. Because of the long period since we have identified strain 2, the likelihood particularly of the younger population being at higher risk is greater, and so it is also an additional cause for concern, the fact that this is a dominant strain, the minister stated. Part of the call from the Ministry of Health and Wellness is to encourage parents to treat children who have fever with paracetamol only and to avoid aspirin and aspirin-like medication such as ibuprofen, the health minister stated. In the meantime, Dr. Tufton said data from the ministry's National Surveillance Unit shows that, as of Monday, September 11, there were 316 suspected, presumed and confirmed cases of mosquito-borne disease. The health minister said this represents an almost 5-fold increase when compared to the corresponding period in 2022, which had 65 cases. The health ministry says that while all parishes have had cases of dengue reported, confirmed cases were detected in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Westmoreland, Portland and St. James. It said from a population basis, the parishes of St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine have been flagged by health authorities as having the highest dengue activities in the island. According to Dr. Tufton, $200 million has been allocated for the removal of bulky waste and drain cleaning cross-country under an enhanced vector control program which began in July to stem the possibility of an outbreak later this year. Furthermore, he said inspections have begun in schools and some 500 temporary vector control workers engaged so far and deployed to high-risk communities. He said the number will be increased if the need arises. With respect to fogging activities, he said 60 vehicles are available to facilitate the intensified activities. Jamaica last had a dengue outbreak in 2019, Up to November 2019, there has been 10,559 notifications of dengue cases, with 6,114 of that number classified as suspected, presumed or confirmed. 44 deaths were reported. Dengue symptoms include fever, headache, muscle and joint pain, fatigue, nausea, and rash. In a small number of cases, the potential deadly DHF may develop, resulting in internal bleeding, enlargement of the liver, and high fever.
For us, it represents a concern, clearly not a panic, but a concern, because it is almost 5 times or a 5-fold increase when compared to the corresponding period in 2022, where 65 cases were reported. So there is a 5-fold increase when compared year over year. As of Monday, September 11th, 2023, a total of 39 positive cases. Of these cases, 38 were identified as dengue serotype 2, and 1 was identified as dengue serotype 4. Now, what's the significance of this? I'll get into that shortly. All parishes have had cases of dengue reported. Confirmed cases were detected in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Westmoreland, Portland, and St. Anne. When you look from the per population perspective, the parishes in Southeast St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew and St. Catherine have the highest dengue activity at this particular time. Given the absence of this strain, there are 4 strains. If you get one, then you could get the other 3, and less likely to get the one that you got. In this instance, because of the long period since we have identified the strain 2, the likelihood, particularly of the younger population, being at a higher risk is greater. And so it is also an additional cause for concern that this is the dominant strain. It is important to highlight that of the 39 confirmed cases of dengue, a total of 20 belong in the 5 to 14-year-old age group. And so the younger population, as stated, it is playing out based on the particular strain which has been around in its.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell